So man, you've had a big couple weeks.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride.
Yeah. So we go quarantine, right? We go COVID-19, lock down everything.
Yep.
But we were still, WWE is still able to perform, right? We're doing it in front of, which is the weirdest thing ever, that we're able to perform in front of no fans, right? Considering that we're like one of those industries that like, it's like going to a concert and like no fans being there, having a concert with no people, or going to a comedy show with nobody there. It's just like the crowd is just as much a part of the show as the performers are.
Absolutely.
So it's like, it is a little weird. So you're getting thrown into this new world with all these new little things. What's it been like to be out there having a wrestle without the audience and without that instant feedback?
So I was asked about this, maybe like 2 weeks ago, and some people might take to it differently than I do. For me, I was curious. I was like, hey, when I go out there, like, I wonder if, I'm going to feel the ring more, and it's going to, everything's going to hurt more than it usually does. Cause usually that adrenaline's going and you got the people screaming at you. So you might get hit really hard, but you're good. You're like, oh, whatever. Like, I got to go, but I wonder if my energy would be different, but it wasn't. I think because, honestly, like, it's just been something I've always wanted to do. And it's like, once that music hits, it's just whatever I was feeling in the back, whether it's nerves or, like thinking everything that I just said, as soon as I walk out, I think I'm just there and I'm in it, and I don't come out of that bubble until I walk to the back. So for me, it hasn't been a bad experience. I actually like it, and I think it's an opportunity to actually present who I am better, because now you can actually hear every word that I say. And if it's somebody that doesn't say anything, well, I mean, you can't really learn much from that. But for me, man, just like the talking trash and getting to talk about my achievements while I'm, kicking somebody's ass, it's like you're getting to know who I am. And you can tell like how I feel about myself and how I feel about other people, and the camera's right there. And I know, I got all those people right behind that camera. So whatever I'm saying, they're feeding off this energy, and they know, how I'm trying to interpret myself and how I'm trying to present myself to them. So I've taken it as a very different but grateful opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. I would imagine though, that there are some adjustments that need to be made when having a match now that there isn't an audience.
Right.
Because there's certain things that we do as sports entertainers that throughout the life and history of a match, we kind of base on what we're about to do next on the crowd reaction. Mm-hmm. And now that that's not there, I've noticed just from watching, being like, oh, I wouldn't do this, I wouldn't do that, or I would do more of this, like you said, I would talk more shit, which I don't know if that's actually even possible, but
yeah, especially for you.
But I would talk more, like you said, it's an opportunity not only to be seen now, but to be heard. Mm-hmm. And like, you've got to change as a performer, at least from what I've been seeing. I think that there needs to be they're little minor tweaks, but I think that they're very important. Yeah. To add, because there is that dead space of like no noise in the building. Yeah. Which is weird. Yeah. It's weird to watch.
And I think it's both ways, whether I'm, in control or, I'm not in control, my selling, it can't be the silent, sell with, even though my facials are good and, my body movement's good. Like if there's no noise, it's still that awkward time there, and it's like, it's just like a movie, like you've gotta have that feeling there, it's nobody's gonna, watch a movie scene and somebody's fighting and the person that's getting beat up, they're not making any noise. It's kind of weird. Yeah. So you just got to think of it as that aspect, cause it's very weird, but at the same time, it's very cool and creative if you, really focus in and want to bring your best to it.
Yeah, it adds a new little wrinkle to the game. I think, if anything, this is going to force people to up their game. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Kind of up them to the next level, right? You've got to, it's adapt or die right now. And it's just like we're in unprecedented times, like we've been talking about. So it's like, we're in a less than ideal situation. But what are you going to do to adapt and evolve and conquer, you know? Because it's like we can be like, oh, man, this is a crappy situation. I don't want to be here. I don't want to have to do this in front of no fans. Or you'd be like, this is a new challenge, and I'm up to it, you know? And, like, I might have to work a little harder. I might have to think a little bit more in terms of, you know, I got to make, you know, I got to make some noises here. I got to sell like this. I've got to, you know, my shit talking actually, you know, some people get into that weird little thing where they're just talking shit and they just say the same thing over again. And it's like, no, you can talk shit now and tell a story with your shit talking.
I just, I try to think of this going into the matches, you know, kind of like I got a promo, but I don't. It's just a match, but I have a promo ready. You know, my opponent, I want to know their achievements. I want to know where they've been, what they've done. Like this past week, me and Tozawa faced off. You know, I knew he was a cruiserweight champion. You know, that's still a championship in WWE.
Yeah.
He's a cruiserweight, and, you know, I'm not. So to me, that was a big thing. Like, you know, they put me out here with a cruiserweight, you know, and then I start, you know, going into talking about, you know, I've been at WrestleMania and you haven't, you know, how long you been here? And that's something I used in the match. And it's like, yeah, like I lost at WrestleMania, but it's WrestleMania. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I'm 22. Like,
hell yeah.
I don't care what you say. Like, so that was just something that I was thinking more of, you know, not necessarily like, what move can I do in this match? It was focused on, you know, what can I say to him? What can I do? What are, you know, when I'm selling or he's selling, like just what can make this different from every other match we see tonight? Because if you do go out there and you just do the match, it's, I mean, you're just not going to get what you're trying to get out of it.
Yeah.
And everybody has a different perspective of what that is. You know, whether you had a great killer athletic good match or you're an entertainer, you know. And at the end of the day, to me, we talked about this with other people, you know, it's on a, you know, television network, and to me it's TV, so it's entertainment.
Yeah.
So that's what we need.
Yeah.
So that's why I put so much into that and thinking about that now. And regardless if there's a crowd there or not, you know, there's a way to do it both ways. And I'm still finding that, you know, and I know it's going to take time. And I feel like when I have it, I might not even know, or I will. But I'm always going to try to improve that and figure out exactly what it is and how it could be better.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's like, this is a weekly episodic television show, you know, and I think it would be important for people, you know, up and coming wrestlers, young kids at home that want to aspire to be professional wrestlers, guys that are, you know, working at their craft at the base level right now. I think it's important to remember that, you know, that you are a character on a weekly episodic television show, and that as much as the physical stuff is cool, like it's the theatrical part that makes money. That's the theatrical part that draws people in.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like that stuff. I always say you're one part athlete, one part actor, one part stunt double.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And I think it's the same thing too. Like me and you, we could compare this to working out. Like when you tell somebody, they're like, I go so hard in the gym, but you know, the food part is just for me. And that's why I look like,
right.
You know, but it's like, just every part has to be good, you know, like super entertaining, but you gotta be good in the ring too. You know, like you just want to have all that down.
Yeah.
And it's like, for me, I'm glad you said it that way and didn't give each thing a different percent. How most people will say, well, this is 80% and you need 20% of this. It's like, no, everything has to be 100. 100. Like everything has to be good, you know. And if you want to be one of those guys that's like, I'll go 110, whatever. Like everything has to be the same though, you know. And if you're lacking, you know, you need to improve that. But there's no certain percent for these things. Like if you want to be the best, you know, the best has everything.
Yeah.
So everything or nothing.
Yeah. They're all equally important.
Yeah.